Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we trust everyone in the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
Maybe we should have trusted more people, not fewer. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Joe Christopher St. Pantaleon, patron saint of lottery winners, which is appropriate for this minute. Yeah. You need to choose your numbers wisely. And, of course, he also protects against loneliness, St. Pantaleon. But check it out. So does winning the lottery.
It solves all your problems. And we are recording live all the way from Germany today with our old friend Doris. Welcome back, Doris.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Doris.
Hey.
It's good to have you with us.
It's good to be back.
Now that I don't think there's another word of German spoken the rest of the movie. But that's not the only reason we have you here. We like it.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to talk a little bit about the guy in the tank, but...
Oh, we still can.
Yeah.
We can talk about minute 112, and then we can cover some old German if you want to. That's fine.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
We have no rules here. But we are here to talk about minute 112, which begins with Donovan asking which is the real Grail, and it ends with Elsa having totally handed him the real Grail for sure.
The absolutely real Grail.
I swear to God,
looks
it's the
like
real
it
one.
too. Yeah.
Well, Donovan's a real impatient Impala here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's an interrupting iguana.
Yeah.
He pops in, he sees an 800-year-old medieval knight, and he blurts out, "Which one is it?"
I want a Grail. Where's the Grail? I want
Yeah,
an Easter egg.
exactly.
I want an Easter egg.
There's no respect for protocol.
Yeah.
There's no introductions.
Right.
Absolutely
gosh, a knight.
none. Yeah. And still, in the movie, he is a lot more timid than in the book version.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know my thing? Novelizations. I checked. He keeps saying, "This is the cup, and now it's mine. I want the cup, and it will be mine." He is a lot more greedier.
Huh.
Wow.
And he also threatens to kind of shoot Indy.
Huh.
He doesn't do that in the movie.
Right. Interesting.
Why doesn't he do that, actually? Why doesn't he just
I don't know.
shoot Indy the second he comes in there? Now that I think
I have no
about it.
idea. Or
Yeah.
I mean, he believes that he has a scientific expert with him who can help him in Elsa, and he doesn't need Indy, really.
Yeah.
He just
Right.
needed him to get past the 3 trials.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Which Indy did a little too well.
Indy has just been, pretty much ordained a priest knight.
Yeah.
I mean, why doesn't Indy attack Donovan?
Since he is officially the Grail guardian now. Because
Exactly.
the knight
Yeah.
passed on the baton, right?
I can't tell if it's totally official or not, since Indy didn't literally
Yeah, he
take
didn't
the sword
accept it.
from him.
But it's weird because the knight keeps giving Indy these little looks like the entire time.
Yeah.
And I can't tell if that's
Yeah.
like, why aren't you doing something? Or else it's the knight is just making everything up that he's about to say. And he keeps looking
Can
at Indy like,
can I butt in with a quote?
sure.
Yes.
Yeah, novelization says the Grail Knight says to Indy, says to Donovan, not to Indy. "I no longer serve as guardian of the Grail. It is
Wow.
he," and then he points to Indy, "who must answer the challenge. I will neither help nor hinder."
Oh,
Interesting.
Indy must answer the challenge?
Yeah.
So does that mean that Indy still has to decide which is the right Grail?
I think it means Indy's the Grail Knight now.
Indy is the Grail
Right.
Knight now.
Okay, but
It's his job to defend the Grail, or
Yeah. Yeah.
But Indy I understand that, but Indy just got there. He doesn't even know which is the real Grail. He doesn't know the rules. Like, there's got to be some sort of orientation period or something, I would think.
Yeah, and I mean, there is this smorgasbord of chalices there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And if that's true, though, then why is the knight even talking to Donovan at all? Like, if Indy's the guy, like, why? Because in the book, that makes a little more sense. He's like, hey, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
This is Indiana Jones. He's the new guy.
Aw.
Yeah.
But, like, here in the movie, he's like, oh, well, okay, you would like to try which one is the Grail? Okay, here are the rules.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, well, wait a minute. He just showed up with a gun. I'm the guy. You just gave me a sword.
Indy is much too busy killing Elsa with his eyes.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, maybe the knight is just so over it all.
Yeah.
He's like, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Like,
So I just see him with like putting his hat on. He's got his suitcase already. He's like, yeah, just pick one, but be careful. Bye.
He's got a Jimmy Buffett shirt.
Yeah. His little suitcase.
He's totally punched out. Yeah.
Aloha.
Putting out his sandals.
Jimmy Buffett.
Do you think there's only one? Do you think he's telling the truth that there's only one true Grail? And if so, does every false Grail, does that mean every other one is false? And does every false Grail kill you in a different way? Like, is there a jaundice Grail or a gangrene Grail? Or are they all just like, you just get old?
Oh, you and me, Pete. That was my note. Like, does one of them drown you from the inside? I spent like hours just wondering.
Maybe they're all like legitimately powered Grails, but like the true Grail has held the blood of Christ, so it's like life-giving and stuff. But like all the other Grails like are haunted in some other specific way. Like this guy found out his wife was cheating on him and choked on a plum or something. Like that. So that's how you die or something.
Brutal.
Well, is it uncharacteristic of Donovan just to demand to know which chalice is the Holy Grail? I mean, obviously, if there's a spread of Grails, there's something else going on here.
Yeah, but he's pretty like laser focused on like, give me the Grail, give me the Grail, give me the Grail.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Is it's a little uncharacteristic. I mean, he's kind of buttoned up and very well organized this entire movie.
But he's a captain of industry, and he's got people at his beck and call all day long, and he snaps his fingers, and they get him what he wants. And I think that's what he's expecting from Elsa right here.
Yeah, exactly. And from the knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's and from the yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's so weird.
Yeah.
What's Donovan's number one quote? Don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much his life advice.
Yeah.
And why is he completely blind here? Like he's even trusting the knight.
He's not a very good bad guy. In that
No.
sense.
Well, he's just overcome by greed. He just at this point he stops thinking clearly.
And at Pete, you're right. Like the knight is giving like full side eye to
Yeah.
Indy.
Right.
Yeah.
The
The
whole
entire
time.
time. Yeah.
Maybe this is part of he's considering this part of Indy's training or something. Like he's on the job tutoring or something.
He's like Yoda right now.
Right, yeah.
Without the wisecracks, though.
Yeah. He's about the same age as Yoda, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's a
a
couple
good point.
hundred years
800
younger, but
years?
Yeah.
They both have that blue light.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's true.
glowing, right?
He really is.
Yeah.
He really is.
Little
Yoda here.
isolated fires around the place. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think this Donovan's a little one-dimensional here.
I think it fits the movie. I think so
I
dig
too.
that it's greed, but it's kind of like he's not stupid.
He's not stupid, but he's gold lusty.
And he's deferring to the expert here because he doesn't. I mean, this isn't his area of expertise. He's gonna.
Yeah.
Although Elsa offers to choose for
Right.
him.
Yeah. And this is from this moment on, for the next like 2-3 minutes, the looks that she gives, I think when she's knowingly about to off Donovan right here are incredible. Like the
I
acting she
agree.
does is
Yeah.
absolutely from right here all the way through is unbelievable. Like just the way she changes her expressions and the way you can tell she's calculating already right now. Okay, I'm going to kill this guy. It's incredible.
Right before she goes to choose for him, she gives him a little smile.
Yeah.
And it can be read either as, oh, yeah, I got this. I'll help you out. Or, oh, watch this. I'm totally going to twist the knife in your gut.
Yeah. And then she immediately, like in a minute, she's going to say it can't be made of gold. And she immediately goes to the one that's made of the most gold that she can find. Like she's not just killing, she's killing him with extreme prejudice. Like she's like,
Yeah.
this guy's dead.
Well, that was sort of my question is like, if she's, I mean, we've been questioning how much expertise she has in this stuff all along. So like, how does she know that she's giving him the wrong one? Does she just go for like the most, ersatz, like whatever medieval times
Well-
kind of goblet you can find.
I don't think she knows which one it really is, but she knows it's not a gold encrusted, very
Right.
well made thingy. It is not jewel covered, and it is not something that a rich man or a poor man. Jesus was a poor man, so it's not something a poor man would have.
But I
Yeah.
keep wondering, like, what if, like, I mean, yes, Jesus wouldn't be going to have the Last Supper at like a fancy place, but like, wouldn't the Grail be more of a reflection of the place where they had the Last Supper than of him?
Yeah, theoretically, it could be.
Like, it's not like
Yeah.
he didn't bring his own Grail to the supper.
I mean, we're also talking 33 Christian era,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
that thing that she picks is definitely a
Right,
couple
that-
hundred years
yeah.
later.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Well, that's really fun. Well, maybe Jesus was one of those refill types.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he just carried his
Jerry
own Grail around.
In college,
Yeah.
Jerry there was a across the street from where Jerry and I lived, there was a 7-Eleven, and they offered free refills on Big Gulps.
Oh,
And
nice.
Jerry got a sample, like a little tiny sample cup, and it was like
It was
you
a
could
mini
take
gulp.
a mini gulp, and he kept that little mini gulp cup for like 2 years and went back every day and just refill after refill
Wow.
after refill after refill.
That's amazing.
It was like
Nifty.
3. It was like 3 ounces.
And he'd get like 20 of them at a time.
But they were true to that.
Yeah,
to their
they honored
promise.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they honored it. So it was a mini gulp, but that was a gulp.
Yeah, like 10 or 15 years ago, there was like a Starbucks, I guess it was their anniversary, and they sold like, it was just like a dumb plastic travel mug, but it was like $30 because if you use that mug for the rest of the month, you would get unlimited refills of coffee. So I
Yeah.
was like, all right.
my
And I just
God.
went nuts. I just like went, twice a day and it paid for itself in like a week. And I went nuts. And
And you didn't sleep.
My
You didn't
insides were
sleep
never
in
the
that
same.
month, right?
I'm still awake.
Well, so just look. I'm not going to tear down this minute, but I just want to be clear here. Donovan says he's not a historian, which is a little funny. I know he's not a professor, but he has that whole illuminated manuscript in his office. He's read it. He knows a fair amount about the Holy Grail.
That's
here.
true.
But maybe
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask an academic if somebody's an historian, the person will say, unless that person has a PhD in history, no, that person is not an historian.
Sure.
And I think
He's more of like a
Donovan is
hobbyist historian,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of those, it doesn't mean he does. This is a little. The writing of this or the playing out of this is a pinch chintzy, because then like Elsa's like, he's like, which one is it? And she's like, I'll choose, and he's like, thank you, doctor. It's like, and then she reaches to the first Grail to her right.
She doesn't even look at it.
Yeah, she's like, it's this one.
Because she wants to kill him. Like she wants
Yeah.
this.
But
She should play it up a little
Donovan's
bit.
not- Yeah, Donovan's not stupid.
But she
Right.
she sells it.
But
though.
he
She
falls for
smiles
it.
at him. Yeah, I think she really sells it to him.
She does.
Yeah, maybe Donovan is that kind of person who collects art because he likes the look of it. It has to look good to impress his friends, and it has to be expensive.
Right.
So maybe he's not really that interested in what it really is, but what it represents.
But then even
Yeah.
in that case, it's like he's like, it's more beautiful than I imagined. It's like the gaudiest thing I've ever seen in my
isn't.
life. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
it's horrible.
Especially
And the
when
other
when you see it when he puts it actually to his mouth, and it looks like it's from the next dollar store or something.
Yeah, it's got that bolt in the bottom or whatever.
But that's-
Exactly.
I think
Strung together.
that's evidence that he isn't so interested in the history of the object as like you said, Doris. He thinks it's really a valuable thing, so he looks at
Yeah.
it, and all of a sudden, because he thinks it's suddenly valuable, he's like, "This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." I mean, if
Yeah.
she'd handed him any of those, he would have said that.
But that's what's so strange to me. He doesn't say, how do you know it's that one? I mean, we are talking about sucking my life force.
Yeah, but he's been entrusted her throughout this entire mission to help him
Yeah.
find
But
the Grail.
he knows that
she's the expert.
Always
but
listen
he
to the doctor.
knows that she's getting a little funny. He knows that. Like she screams when Henry gets shot, she goes, "No!" And he goes, "Get back."
I don't think he suspects she's getting a little funny. I mean, he might think that she still cares about them, but I don't think that he thinks she's going to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah, and maybe he's just underestimating her.
Yeah.
She's a woman. She will scream. She's squeamish.
Right.
He's just totally underestimating her, like everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the chalice looks the same as all the other chalices. That's what I think I'm a little bit. But like okay, so all these grails, they're all made of precious gems or metals,
Mm-hmm.
except one.
Looks like there might be a couple that aren't.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
is
come
a
on, wait,
bigger
wait.
There's a bigger
Wait a
one that
minute.
just looks like an earthen.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that looks like it's like pewter
Thing.
or something, or
Yeah.
you know. it's
Yeah,
like
sure,
D&D
but they're
grail.
all but they all have one thread in common. You know, those are fancy ass chalices.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
probably
so
what he's been picturing the whole time, though. When
Yeah.
when he thinks
Sure,
about
but
the Grail.
that I get, but I don't understand why there's nothing spectacular about the one that literally that Elsa grabs just closest to her elbow. It looks just as beautiful and lovely and bejeweled as the other ones.
I think it looks, to me at least, the ones I was looking at, it looked like it was a little more over the top than the rest of them. Because most of them are just
you're
metal.
right. It's a
and that
pinch
one's
more
got
over
it's
the
metal
top,
and it's got all
but
these
yeah.
gemstones on it as well.
And he's seeing what he wants to see. He wants her to pick the right one. He wants to have the right one. He's trusting her, even though he told Indy not to trust anybody.
And that's
know.
nice because it's like it's ironic end. That's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he didn't follow his own advice and that killed him.
I guess I'm
exactly.
asking you guys, he's really that blind here.
Yeah.
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 He actually
Yeah.
is.
Okay. Okay.
And there's
Yeah.
a nice representation of it at the end of the minute when it's this absolutely incredible shot. Like when you see him raising the Grail up as he's looking at it, if you look carefully, like behind the Grail, you see a soft focus Elsa, and she watches him very intently, and then she turns her head to Indy and kind of shakes her head no. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful
Oh,
shot.
really?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I just saw that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the next minute we'll begin with the same shot from a different angle, which
Yeah.
is interesting. But it's
That's super,
it's-
but she
it's a
doesn't
gorgeous-
shake her head in that shot though.
Right.
Oh,
They
that's
cut it
really
just-
weird.
And in the script, it calls it out that Indy thinks he's seeing her true colors right here, and he misreads what she's doing.
Oh, weird.
Well, he's misread a lot of her
Yeah,
signs.
he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Elsa, I love her in this minute.
Me
You know what's
too.
interesting is,
Yeah,
do you
I do
think
too.
Elsa is thinking, this is how Austrians say goodbye?
This is how bitter,
Yeah.
angry
Yeah.
Austrians say goodbye
Yeah.
to their fake bosses.
And it's when she says, "Let me choose," Donovan is a dead man because if you
Yeah.
look at that scene, he's cast in shadow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, guys, the music.
Oh, yeah.
The
music's
music
amazing.
in this minute, the next minute, is so awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
And it tells the whole story. You just have to close your eyes and listen, and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Doris, we
absolutely.
tend to grill every one of our guests about this, but you just mentioned that you love Elsa in this minute.
Yeah,
How do you feel
I
about
do.
her generally?
I like her
in the
very
movie.
much. I like
kinda
her
do
very
too.
much. Yeah. She is an agent, so to say. She acts. She's not just reacting to something the men do.
Mhm.
I mean, compared to Willie, probably any female character would kind of come out better. Although I've come around on Willie too.
I
Yeah.
kind of have too.
If it weren't for Connery in this film, I think Elsa would have a much better standing as in being a memorable character.
Mm-hmm.
And come to think of it, that she is also a lot softer than portrayed in the novel or the script, or how she was planned out to be.
Huh.
Oh, interesting. Like how so?
Well, she doesn't come across as cold, as greedy. Alison Doody kind of advocated for her to actually not be dead at the end. Like
All right.
you see her hand coming up from the crevice, but they didn't do that. But reading through the material, also the treatment in the Rinsler book, the way she portrays her, she is a lot more ambivalent as a character. She is not 100% villain. And I just like how what Alison Doody did with the part.
Yeah,
she's great.
But do you think
she's fantastic?
Do you think, guys, that we have been misreading Elsa like Indy has? Like, is it possible that she's been kind of a good guy all along? Because if she hadn't, quote unquote, betrayed Indy in the castle, there's a pretty good chance that they wouldn't all be standing here today in the Grail Temple. Like, it seems like a lot of the things she did could be read in another way. Like, she's always been in love with Indy or Henry, and she's always been, behind the scenes kind of saving their lives or helping them out.
Yeah, from now on, from this point forward, she's totally on Indy's side.
And she has been, she's had one foot there for like the last half hour or something of the movie. Like, since she left the castle, really.
Right.
But that's an interesting point, Pete. Like, she could be playing up how, like, we always go back to, like, saying goodbye the Austrian way and stuff, and she takes such glee in getting one over on Indiana Jones and revealing herself to be evil. But she could be playing that up to, like, the other Nazis in the room.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But then she'd have to, like, have some sort of guarantee that they were going to survive being tied up in a castle full of Nazis or something.
Right.
Well,
I don't know.
She might have faith in him.
I'd like to give her more credit.
Yeah.
I'd like to give her more credit, and I think that would be interesting. And Pete, I always, the yarns you spin, you do a fantastic job at it. It's just not what the writers and directors have given us.
Right. They would like her to be they would like her to be kind of two things at once. And it's hard to combine them. It's like you get that she's conflicted, but like she wasn't conflicted enough at the right times or something like that, and some of it feels like a little too late or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is too little, too late, and I feel like saying that's actually, I don't blame Elsa for that. Mm-hmm. I blame how she's presented to the audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
by what the lines they give her and how they direct her to do what, and the lighting on her face here and there, and what she chooses to do, and what I've seen. Yeah, I think that would have been maybe even a lot more interesting, and she would have been more memorable, and it probably would have worked a lot better. And maybe, I don't know, aren't there people who like Catwoman out there? Catwoman, and like, doesn't she? Doesn't like. I don't. That's why I don't know enough of what I'm saying about it. But she lives, and she and Batman kind of have like a tension that goes on. Yeah, I mean, could Elsa have been one like a Catwoman sort of thing if she didn't die? No.
No, because she sided with the ultimate evil, with the Nazis, so she has to go. She's unredeemable. I like her as a character, but she went with the wrong guys.
So you think even if she, like, by the end of the movie, she's whole hog trying to, well, I guess she's totally motivated by keeping the Grail and stuff. But if she had, turned her back on Donovan and somehow helped Indy more and saved Henry and everything and just totally turned over a new leaf, would that not be enough to redeem her? Because I'm going to say she's not going to be like Catwoman because she's too nice at the end or something.
Yeah, but how would she be redeemed? That is the thing.
But the thing, if you're going to ask... If you're asking that, I'd say the answer is right there in the font and the leap of faith. Like, the first thing about Christianity is, yes, you actually can seek redemption, true redemption, if you, change your ways and believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if that's what the character's doing, then I agree with you. She sided with the wrong guys, and probably for too long. But if the whole umbrella is Christianity, it's like, no, you're always welcome as long as you'll always be forgiven. There's room for Catwoman yet.
The thing is, what will she do after? Indy will not take her home.
Right.
I mean, she's had the thing with her dad. With his dad. Sorry.
It's a great question. I mean, she needs to go to confession.
Yeah. What if she had? What if after Donovan turns into dust? What if she had taken the Grail and say, "Hey, Indy, let me." She does the same thing, but sincerely, and finds Indy the right Grail, and then she drinks from it first to test it out, and takes that leap of faith.
She does find Indy the right Grail.
She says it's not.
Does she find it, or does she?
Well, she tells him it's not made of gold.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But if she like had said, don't risk yourself, Indy, I will risk myself to try to confirm that this is the real Grail, and if I die, I was wrong. And
But then we'd read that as, she's being selfish and wants to sip herself. Like, I don't think there's a way we could do that. But she does.
All right.
I mean, as far as redemption goes, her first act here under her own power is to kill the main Nazi guy.
Mm-hmm. I guess there are a lot of characters in movies like that where they've been along with the evil guy, the main evil guy, and you can see they're conflicted, and then they do something good at the end, but they still have to die.
Right.
For being aligned with evil.
Yeah, and probably whatever she did, we would construct it to be a selfish motive.
Right, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, so Doris, am I supposed to like Elsa?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not a historian.
Well, from a historian's point of view, she is totally siding with the wrong side. She wants the Grail for herself, not for a museum. So from a historian point of view, I would say don't like her.
But I feel like I've been manipulated into caring about, her fate.
Huh.
She feels bad about all the people we feel bad about, so it's hard to not connect with her a little bit.
Right.
Right, but it's connect with her a little bit.
Yeah. And she's really
that's
pretty,
where
and that doesn't help.
She's still the one standing up there on the stage with Hitler and Himmler, so...
Right.
Yeah, but she's crying. She's thinking about her,
but she's crying about the books. By the way, don't know if it was mentioned, but again in the novel, or is it in the script? I don't know exactly where I've read it. But she wanted to throw the diary in, so that would have given her character a totally different angle.
Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't in the script. That must have been in the novelization.
Weird.
Wow.
Like as a gesture of like evil, or like just to like why did she want to throw it in there?
She didn't need it anymore.
Just to get rid of it? It's just a book?
Yeah, just to get rid of it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Maybe she's read the whole thing at that point too.
Maybe she didn't want anyone else finding it.
Yeah.
And finding all the booby traps.
Yeah, maybe
and,
she knew it would help the Nazis.
If she destroys it,
she's
the only one who knows.
She comes across a lot more harsh and evil in all the written stuff about her than the actual film.
Weird.
Yeah.
In the novelization, does she sleep with both Indy and Henry?
Yeah. She
makes
does.
sense.
Just
That's
like
pretty
in
major.
the film. Yeah. That would have been a major block point if it were different.
Well, I thought about that because when they got Sean Connery, I thought that he was kind of like, well, everything Indy does, I do better. And so
He
I
was.
wondered.
Yeah.
But the book would have been
Yeah,
written probably after the movie, or like while the movie's being made.
novelization. Yeah.
I mean, they always kind of write it to come out with the movie, so basically of the last script version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not entirely up to date on the shooting schedule.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan does actually use the word beautiful.
Oh, there you
when
go.
he drags,
That's too bad
So
Mom doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything about anything being beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Maybe that's his intolerable. It's all the evil guy's intolerable. It's beautiful.
Well, does anybody have anything else for 112?
I'm good.
All right.
Well, speaking of beautiful, Jared.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any beautiful people in your family who have other things to say about 112, Jerry?
Why, certainly. There's a beautiful missive coming over this beautiful machine.
Oh.
Doris. That's great. This just in from Professor Beautiful Christy Porter. We know that Donovan is an impatient Impala. Is Spielberg an impatient Impala?
You didn't both come up with impatient Impala.
No,
I'm
what?
not
You guys
buying
have
it.
never heard that before?
No. That must be a Porter thing.
An impatient Impala, a beautiful impatient Impala. Spielberg is.
Does that refer to the animal or the car?
Yeah, well, it could be either. They are fast, right? The Impala is really fast. I think it can outrun a cheetah almost. Yeah, it feels like Spielberg is rushing through this scene.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's from Professor Christy Porter. I think Spielberg is rushing through this whole picking. Like, okay, again, you walk in, you have this final challenge. It's something we weren't prepared for. You see a spread of chalices, and you gotta be kidding me, man. Really? And Donovan kind of comes in, and he's just like, which one is it? Okay. And she's like, I'll choose for you. And he goes, great, it's this one. Everlasting life, King of Kings, it's beautiful. And he downs it.
I think if it feels
that's a
rushed, I
little
think
fast.
that accurately depicts Donovan's state of mind right here. He's just like, oh my gosh, I'm this close to the Grail. I'm going to trust this woman to give it for me, and I got it.
And I don't think you can show, like, I think it would slow down the momentum of the ending of the movie if you have like another minute and a half of him walking and looking at each one and picking it up.
Yeah.
And,
Unless
I
that's
think-
the end. That's his end. He gets obsessed
Yeah.
and he can never choose the right one because he doesn't want to get killed. And he just
So I agree with Christy totally on storytelling, but from a cinematic point of view, it doesn't make any sense to draw this out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see another movie where this would be like, you know, I don't know, maybe it'd be more of a thriller. If they sat around, you have everybody in here. You got Indy, who's now an ordained priest knight, Grail keeper, and the knight who's like, no, it's not up to me. And Elsa, who's like the expert, I guess. I mean, it's not a 4th, 5th century pagan symbol, but fine. And then Donovan, who's got all the greed and the money, and he's the main guy seeking for it, and yet he's not the historian.
Yeah.
And then you have Indy, who's, interestingly enough, doing nothing.
I mean, I'm not sure what Indy would do at this point.
Yeah. He's probably doing all he can do and like watch what happens.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what the right Grail is.
Again in the novel, he's thinking about doing something, but then he has this gut feeling that he's supposed to just watch what happens.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just as we the audience do.
Yeah. Well, no,
I'm just
I
gonna
understand
watch
what you know, as an action adventure movie, I understand this plays a lot faster and it cleans things up real nice and quick.
I mean, if they were really thorough, they could have just brought in all the other soldiers they used to test drive the.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But then the problem is if one of them guesses correctly, then he's going to live forever too. And then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to live with this guy for the rest of my life?
He's just gonna live forever as long as he stays in that cave.
Although nobody knows that yet.
Yeah.
And you would get to see all the different Grail deaths.
Yeah, that would
Well,
be
that's
awesome.
true.
Which would be
That
kinda
actually be cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
They should have done away with all the booby traps, so you'd have time for something like that. That would have been
It'd be
fun.
kind of like Cabin in the Woods meets Last Crusade.
You know what I've been thinking just now? I mean, we're in this beautiful carved Grail cave, and there's a picture of the Last Supper on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Grail in there? Is there a picture of the Grail on the wall?
Oh wow.
Tell. I couldn't tell if this was actually the Last Supper, if this was... Because we saw the thing that looked kind of like the Last Supper on the Knight's tomb also, but there were too many people. And I couldn't tell if there were too many people in this. I had trouble getting a good look at it.
It
But I
included the
didn't-
waiters
It's very
and stuff.
fussy, yeah.
Yeah.
Included the waiters.
Oh my god, do you think that is why we were making fun of all of Henry's stupid drawings of the Grail with all the like lines coming out of it? Was he like, this is what the Grail looks like? Look for this one. This is the real Grail. I'm not just doodling. This is the Grail.
I mean, it looks like the one in the picture over his fireplace.
It does.
Yeah, it does. And that one, I don't know if you guys noticed, did you see the one looks exactly like the eyeball soup bowl from Pankot
Oh, wow.
Palace? It has, it has a
maybe
lid.
it is. I wonder if it
There
is.
is
That'd be
there
awesome.
is
could
one
be.
in there.
That's funny.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Let's just
I mean, the
decide
way
it
that Lucasfilm repurposes
Yeah.
stuff in its movies across the board.
is. One should just be like 3PO's forearm or something.
There is one in there. It's a giant silver platter, actually, that looks like the German championship at soccer
Oh, wow.
trophy.
They should have the Stanley Cup in there. More beautiful than I imagined.
There's the one in the background that's like, it's like top heavy.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
three
a
tiers
little-
high,
Yeah.
and it's got a
Yeah,
lid.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, now I wish they had IG-88's head in here too.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The
wow.
coffee pot. Yeah.
Are all these grails like, are they from different times, different eras, and different places?
And who brought them? Who
Yeah,
collected them?
yeah, I
Yeah.
was wondering that too. And is the knight like super rich? Like, did he put $20 in an interest-bearing savings account like 1,000 years ago?
We can only hope.
They put stock in Nike in 1983.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think that does it for 112. Doris, thank you for joining us. Thank you for inviting us all to Germany. That was really nice of you.
Well, anytime you want to come over, there's
was very
always room on my
expensive.
couch.
Oh, yeah.
It's wonderful.
And maybe you can come back tomorrow for more of this.
Yeah, I think
How
I
does that
can.
sound? All right. Well, in the meantime, can you tell people where to find you online if you're so inclined?
Well, I do not have a personal web presence besides my Facebook. And of course, you can find me very actively in the Listeners Crusade.
Yes.
And
You're there all the time.
sometimes even in another minute-by-minute listeners group. I will not name them here.
Oh, we can name them here because they're there are
Star Wars Minute.
yeah
That's where we found you, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where we found each other.
It brings us all together. Star Wars brings us all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if listeners want to get more information on guests and background, they can always go to indiajonesminute.com.
Oh, well done.
Nice.
That was nice. Now I don't have to do a plug. Thanks, Doris.
But that means I have to update everyone's
welcome.
bios that I haven't done in like a month.
Oh, yeah. Get on it, Pete. Well, while Pete scrambles to update our webpage, everyone, please come back tomorrow for minute 113 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Pete,
Mm-hmm.
can you do the "you must choose"?
Uh,
The way the knight says it.
Choose. Perfect delivery. I love him so much.
He says "choose"
Yeah.
in a really funny way.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then you do it, Jerry.
Yeah.
Don't put your friend on the spot.
Yeah. How does he do it, Jay?
He goes, "You must choose."
Well, that's Shakespearean delivery for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Sounds like
kind of
Elliot.
like it's got
came
a
to
little
me.
haunting. Yeah, a little like. It's a little, wife demise. You must choose.
Yeah, a little ghost-like. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
he comes across as a little ghost like that.
Oh, yeah.